hitting it. What's up, coffee drinkers?
I'm Chad,
And I'm Luke.
and we're the Coffee Nerds.
Thanks for joining us for Coffee Nerds. We're changing up our format. We're gonna be trying things a little different. We're gonna be doing some inspiration mixed with a wider variety of trivia topics. But before we get into that, we are going to talk about the coffee we're drinking this week. Oh gosh, I spilled it. I've got Newman's Own Organic Decaf.
And I am still working on the Kicking Horse Grizzly. What is it, Bryce?
Grizzly Claw?
Grizzly Claw.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good stuff.
that's definitely one of my favorites.
We're filming at night. I'm not as wild as Chad.
I'm just pumped about our new format.
Yeah. There we go. No peeks behind the curtain.
No stalkers peeking in.
Hope not. That'd be really creepy. I'm on the second floor.
Review one of our old videos and see someone like peeking through the crack in the window. That'd be creepy.
That would. There's probably someone on every episode secretly watching us.
Sweet.
Okay. So, it's Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is all about being grateful for the people in your life. So, and we do a lot of reading, and we just recently learned about the some surprising benefits of gratitude. So we thought it'd be really cool to talk about how that gratitude can improve your life. Sorry,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just benefit our lives.
Yes.
And just how hard, just how hard gratitude really is. It was just kind of a wake up call for me anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not as grateful as I thought I was, but in some ways, there's still that gratefulness, but also how can we be more grateful?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the fears can be that it'll kind of make you lazy. Like, oh, I'm grateful, so I'm going to be complacent. But I found the opposite was the case. Just in the short time that I've been trying to be more grateful, I found it helps me fight off like being discouraged and discontent, and it's like it powers me to push forward. It's like a reframing. Like gratitude refocuses me away from what I don't have and what I haven't done, and helps me look at what I have and what I am doing.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy sometimes to look at what we don't have. We don't have lots of money. We don't have lots of video games. We don't have lots of food or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you can look almost inwardly, and again, like what you said, what do you have?
Right.
And it could definitely be worse than it actually is, and it's hard to recognize that sometimes. But like this last year, 2017, there were some rough times in mine and my family's life, and I just had to stop and think, okay, like I could be living in a cardboard box on the side of the road somewhere, and my life compared to that is definitely in a better spot.
Yeah. It's like it could always be worse, and you can also look at it can always be better too. Like it can kind of help you like put things in perspective and just see where you're at in a really cool way.
Yeah.
The book we've been reading, your best year ever, Michael Hyatt talks about how it makes you more patient. It can remind you that you have kind of power, like you have the ability to change things in your life. It can make you more hopeful about the future, like we were just talking about. And it gives us an expanded set of responses to choose from. I don't know what that means. I can't remember what that one was about. All right. Being kind of having a negative attitude about something, but it gives you the opportunity to kind of look at that in a different light, and it kind of empowers you to have a good response when things don't go well.
Definitely.
Gonna take toasty.
I was just thinking about how chilly I am, and I'm about ready to put my hoodie on.
Here, I'll send you mine through the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
go ahead.
Michael's book is really good.
Yes, check it out if you get the chance. Yeah. Very good.
Your Best Year Ever by Michael. Yeah. First book that I've read by him. I've listened to his podcast here and there, his old one, and he just started a new one. And he's got a lot of really good tips on goal setting and just setting yourself up for your best year ever. So it's been really fun going through that book.
Yes. And we'll be talking a little bit more next week about some other stuff we've learned from the book.
Yes. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
We'd also like to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day and some of the information that we found for that. Definitely a very interesting backstory. One that I had never heard of, and I don't know if it's necessarily a good story, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was curious, like, just where the heck did Valentine's Day come from? And what I found, I was looking into Saint Valentine, and there's a lot of conflicting reports on who he actually was. There might have even been two of him, right? Like there were two different people that might have been named Saint Valentine that were.
Well, I saw that there were definitely two, and possibly up to 12.
12. Oh wow, I did not read that.
So there's some really conflicting, legend to it or story to it.
Right. I think the core legend, though, is that he lived around like the 3rd century AD, and he was imprisoned for performing marriages for soldiers. Because at the time it was forbidden for them to get married because it was considered better for them to focus on the soldier life. But
war.
So what's that?
Focus on war and not worrying about dying and your family and stuff.
Yeah. So he was imprisoned for that, and then he was beheaded because he refused to convert from Christianity to paganism. So the king chopped his little head off. So this was a guy who lived and died for love. He sacrificed everything for what he believed in. I guess the connection to romantic love comes like much later. From what I read, it sounded like that came around like the 1300s through the 1500s.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of it was attributed to Geoffrey Chaucer, and there were a few ideas attributed to Shakespeare.
Yeah, romanticized.
Yeah.
In what was it? Dark Ages? I don't know.
Yeah, I think 1300s is. I think that's the Dark Ages around then. It would have been through. Ooh, I should have looked this up. Oh, looks like that hoodie came through.
Yes, I am cold.
I was worried it got lost in the internet. Okay,
Uh,
so the Dark Ages gave way to the Renaissance period. Um, so Valentine's probably came about towards the end of the Dark Ages and into the Renaissance.
one thing I wanted to point out as well in the story of Saint Valentine, while he was in prison, it was said that one of the prison guards had a blind daughter, and um, so he he supposedly cured the little girl's blindness through prayer,
Yeah,
and, and he wrote her a letter and signed it your Valentine or some. I know it
I
was
think it
your
was signed. Yeah, it was signed Your Valentine.
yeah, your Valentine.
I did read that one too.
So I thought that was a very interesting little tidbit on kind of like when we write our Valentine's cards.
Yeah, like
So
the
I
first
thought that was
Valentine
pretty
note.
cool. What's
Yeah,
that?
like the first basically the first Valentine
Yeah,
note.
yeah.
All right. So another thing I was curious about was where the heck the Cupid and the bow came from. Like, who came up with the idea of an angel shooting people with arrows? So, unlike most of our weirdest ideas, it came from Greco-Roman mythology. Cupid was the god of love, and around the same time, Valentine's Day became a romantic holiday. Western culture was really getting into ideas and philosophies from that time period. It made a big resurgence. So it really makes sense that Valentine's Day was tied in with um, a mythological figure like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The most modern holidays have like a pagan background to them.
Some kind of tie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's interesting because it didn't start that way, but then it moved into paganism and now it's kind of been reclaimed again.
Very cool.
Yes. All right. So you want to tell them about Instagram, Chad?
Yeah, so make sure to definitely subscribe to our channel as we are changing the format and getting into a little more personal development, and maybe you could consider it motivation. And definitely we're keeping up with the coffee.
Yes.
We're not getting rid of that at all.
No.
So yes, make sure to subscribe. Um, Over on Instagram, we'll be posting lots of awesome motivational posts, and sometimes you can even catch us on our story and get a little bit more background of the coffee nerds. So it would be awesome if you went over there and also added us or followed us over there on Instagram.
Do it. And leave us a comment too. YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Just let us know what you thought about the format. Let us know what changes we could make. If there's any topics you want us to cover, that'd be great too.
And then
Um, Next
drinks.
couple are planned out, but beyond that, who knows? Fair game. Um, yeah, so speaking of, for example, next week we'll be covering risk taking from Your Best Year Ever and the history of the classic Legend of Zelda series. Favorite of mine. So it should be a lot of fun. Stick with us for the next couple episodes. Might be pardon our dust a little bit as we're kind of reshuffling. Um, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. By the way, this coffee was really good.
Hey there, coffee drinkers. It's your pal Cuppy the Cub. Thanks for checking out this week's episode of Coffee Nerds. Check back next Wednesday and every Wednesday for another brand new episode. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye. I love you.